Hello everybody, today I'm going to talk about emotional significance of line in art and design. The objectives of my presentation are to introduce you to line as a basic element of art, to train and develop basic design skills using different types of lines in visual presentation. Introduction. A point when extended becomes a line. It is a chain of dots joined together indicating position and direction of a movement. Line is basic element of art. Line has certain dimensions like length, direction and position. Lines when enclose a space, forms are created. This line is then termed as an outline of that form. Lines compel our eyes to follow them. Lines have an emotional significance depending upon their direction and quality. Man has associated definite ideas with certain lines, considering his own body positions. There are different types of lines, as I mentioned earlier. Straight and curved lines. Straight lines are further classified as horizontal, vertical, diagonal or zigzag lines, and thick and thin lines. Horizontal lines. Horizontal lines depict rest, reposed, relaxed nature, peace, calm, steadiness, because they are associated with a person in a resting, lying, relaxing position. Horizontal lines depict width because it is associated with the eye movement across the figure from right to left or left to right. Horizontal lines depict lifelessness. Plants, trees, animals in horizontal position, they appear lifeless, extremely tired, very weak, etc. Vertical lines. Vertical lines depict activity, alertness and masculinity. A person when active and working is alert and is in a vertical position. Army personnel when standing in attention suggest vertical line. Artists use more of vertical lines to draw male figures. Vertical lines depict strength and solidity because it is associated with for example, a column of blocks is strong when arranged properly. That is, when it represents a vertical line, whereas a haphazard column will fall quickly. It may represent a slanting, diagonal or even a curved line. Animals, trees and human beings when alive stand in an erect position, and hence vertical lines depict life. Vertical lines also depict height because it is associated with the up and down eye movement, whether it is up and down or down and up. Diagonal lines. Diagonal lines depict action, movement, force, speed, enthusiasm, rising and falling because it is associated with any sports, climbing a mountain, etc. Going up and down the stairs indicates speed. A sports person running fast takes a diagonal position. It shows enthusiasm, for example, in ballet dancing. Rising and falling. An object rising or falling assumes a diagonal position as shown in these pictures. Curved lines. Curved lines depict femininity because it is associated with artists use more of curved lines to draw female figures. Gracefulness in mudras, dance forms and flexibility. Any dance form or flexible material can be bent easily, and hence when a object is bent, it is in a curved position. Thick lines. Thick lines depict confidence, boldness, power, ability and toughness. It depicts confidence and boldness because artists use thick and bold lines to draw confident, bold and tough characters. Example, Blue Toe in the cartoon serial Popeye. Power, ability and toughness. For example, thick glassware versus delicate crystalware. Heavily built persons versus thick and delicate people. Thin lines. Thin lines are usually, or they have the significance of delicacy or delicate nature because it is associated with thin glassware or crystalware, thin human beings. Sensitivity and timidness because artists use thin and fine lines to depict a sensitive or a timid character. Example, a fairy, flower, etc. Thin lines also depict unsurety. When one is not sure, many a times may use thin lines to write and draw, whereas use bold lines when he or she is confident about the content. Summary. On conclusion, this lesson will enable the students to understand that each and every element, be it as simple as a point or line, has a meaning to it. When used efficiently and appropriately in design to create a visual effect, impact, to convey a message. Further in-depth knowledge in this subject will enable the students to relate and understand abstract art and the artist through process better. Artist's thought process better. These are my references and thank you.